This dates back maybe a good couple of weeks ago, depending on when we release this. So my roommate, name's Jason.
It's New Year's Eve. It's the New Year's Eve.
All right,
it's the New Year's Eve episode, Dave.
Definitely a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
My roommate, Jason, right? So we've been living together a couple of years now. And we've had a pretty copacetic relationship, a pretty good understanding about, when we go shopping, it's collective. Everything we buy is collective. The food that we buy, the fruit, the veg, it's collective. We both get to use it, right? But a low-key argument broke out a couple of weeks ago because Jason had... So this has happened multiple times, but this one in particular didn't set him off, but it was like the straw that broke the camel's back. We had just gotten chicken schnitzel. Right, and it's it's collective chicken schnitzel. We both agree that it's collective chicken schnitzel, but he had not touched it in a good I want to say 3 to 4 days, and it was just kind of sitting in the fridge, and it was kind of like the last remaining piece. In his defense, he did call dibs. Now, this is where the argument comes in. Whilst he had called dibs on this food, he had dipped away for that weekend. And then had come back, still had not eaten it. And then, at that point, that schnitzel has been sitting in that fridge for a good week and a bit. Ooh. He had called dibs. Now, I'm not even talking about the questionability of whether or not shouldn't have even eaten it. Yeah. I've had a lot of those stories. There was a time where I ate a week-old pizza. Don't even get me started on that. But he had called dibs about 4 days ago and didn't execute on the dibs. I ate that chicken schnitzel. I was a hungry boy. That broke out a little bit of a, why did you eat my chicken schnitzel? I'd call dibs on it kind of discussion, which bled into this whole kind of conversation about at what point do you consider it to be socially acceptable for you to eat unattended food? Now, Ricki, you live in a share house as well.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to the point of labeling?
No, we have shelves.
So you have designated shelves where it's these are my chips, these are my Pringles, these are my shapes, and you have that.
Yeah, so
in the fridge.
In the fridge we have our own shelf too.
Oh, you have shelves in the fridge too?
So I have the top shelf. Alistair has the middle shelf. He doesn't cook. He just orders Uber Eats for every fucking meal. And then Tom cooks as well.
Yeah.
He's in Europe for 6 weeks.
Oh, good call.
And he left.
Okay, so this is where you're surely in the same camp as me.
He left salmon but one of those vacuum sealed in the grocery aisle, in the freezer aisle or whatever, in the fridge.
You didn't put it in the freezer.
Well, I'm not gonna. No,
that to me is fair game, man.
Yeah, I know, but I don't eat salmon, so it's just gonna sit there and go off probably. I don't know why you would buy it. He went grocery shopping the day before he went to Europe.
Why the fuck would you do
that?
I
don't know.
That's just his own inefficiency at play there. But maybe he was actually thinking forward for the boys.
No, maybe. I doubt it.
Oh, no.
I mean, that's the thing, sometimes, because all of our schedules are so fucking weird, we very rarely eat together. And if we do, it's usually a barbecue.
Yeah.
Him and Alistair will eat together only because Alistair won't cook. So Tom will cook a meal for him and for Alistair.
Aww.
But he knows I can take care of myself, so I don't I rarely eat with him. Usually because we're on completely different schedules as well.
Yeah.
But also I eat, at weird times.
Jason and I are in the exact same camp. We both do completely different schedules. So when I'm eating, he's not eating, or he's up. He's very nocturnal, so he eats throughout the night. Right? He's more of a grazer.
That's yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's we shop together. Right. So we do shopping together whenever we can. We get collective food and all that kind of stuff. But we have an agreement. There have been situations in the past where he's bought a pizza, he's eaten most of the pizza, but then he's just kind of, quote unquote, air quotes, forgotten about the pizza to a point where it's been sitting there for a couple of days. At that point, man,
I mean, that pizza's probably got a day left.
Yeah, that pizza's pushing its limits.
Yeah.
I'm doing us justice by making the most out of his money by eating that final piece of pizza.
Okay, also, quick one. When you have leftover pizza from a takeaway store,
yes,
do you put it in the fridge in the box or do you plate it up
in the box?
Yeah,
I like the aesthetic of it.
Okay, yeah.
Efficiency would beg the plate.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it, but at one point in our fridge, it got to a point where especially me and Alice, Tom was pretty good. Me and Alice were getting real lazy because we were working flat out, and it was just every time we had a chance to eat, it was just Uber Eats. There was 4 large pizza boxes in our fridge at one point.
Shit, a break.
And they were from all different orders.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we got that fucking lazy, and we were just there's literally one of the best pizza places in Melbourne is just around the corner from us. Literally in walking distance, and we still get Uber Eats.
Dude, Jason and I are in that exact... It's the Christmas season, dude, for us. We just get lazy as fuck. We barely grocery shop, so it's always Uber Eats. And the fridge is always stacked with just boxes of Chinese food or pizza.
Yep.
2 questions to peg you back off that real quick.
Yeah, huh?
This has been a big debate for me in the last couple of months. 1, with the pizza that you've just refrigerated, what's its shelf life at that point? What
I'll
are
give
you
it
calling it at?
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
I have been stiffed because people are like, no, that does not last beyond the day. I'm like, well, then what the point? What's the fucking point of the innovation of refrigeration?
3 days.
Like, it's to me, I'm willing to push it to about 5.
And that's how you get food poisoning, my
And
boy.
that's how I get a bit sick. Oh, look, my body defies medical science. I can eat a 5th day pizza, in my opinion.
No.
Also,
The reason why we say 3 days is because according to food safety standards, that's the limit.
as I said, I defy medical science. Now, secondly,
You don't, but you like to
can
think you do.
once you've reheated,
Yeah.
what's your protocol upon re-refrigeration and then reheating?
No.
No.
No, is that a firm no from
That's
you
a firm
boys?
no.
No. If I reheat something, I'm fucking eating it.
That's it. Like
It-
that,
it's,
done.
it's not
Like
going
once
back.
you pulled out the pasta and you've heated it, and you said,
Okay, well,
I can't
if-
really finish this right now.
If I have a big bowl of pasta left over, because I'll usually cook for like at least 4 meals, so that I've got like one for that night, and then at least a couple of lunches or like a couple of dinners in the following days.
Yeah.
If I put that in a big bowl, I then just spoon it into a smaller bowl.
See,
And then reheat just that,
You're
and
a
then put
smarter-
that in. Do you reheat the whole fucking?
You're a smarter man than I am.
You just like put the whole fucking thing and just like,
You're
yep.
a smarter man than I am.
Never, ever, ever reheat stuff twice.
Yeah.
Very, very bad.
Also, again, with that is still the 3-day rule because that's how people die, right? No
Yeah.
joke. A kid in college died because he decided to do all of his meals on Sunday, cooked them all, and he did all the pasta, boiled all the pasta, and then left them in the fridge, ate it on Saturday, and died. Right. So
got to freeze that shit.
you got to freeze that shit. Yeah.
And your secret third question.
Which at that point, if you're going to freeze pasta, like why fucking bother? Like just leave it in the cupboard uncooked and it's fine.
Wait, who's freezing pasta after you've cooked it?
That's well. This guy was boiling it
Well, if
and
you've
then leaving it in
made-
the fridge. If you
A whole thing of pasta
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Fair
with,
enough.
with sauce. Chuck it in the freezer. If you're not going to eat it for like 3 days, chuck it in the freezer.
yeah.
Then just store it out like when you're at work, and then come home and it's ready to go. Chuck it in the microwave.
But the big thing is realistically is that like okay, so when it comes to meat specifically, right? It's good in at room temperature. It is good for 2 hours, and that's it, right? And it's not like and that clock doesn't reset every time you freeze it, right?
Does that include pizza? Say
Yes.
I had left
If
the
it's got
pizza-
meat on it, yes. So basically,
I just have not been abiding by
And
these
by the
rules.
way, that timer starts from the moment it leaves the freezer. So at the pizza shop, when you've ordered the pizza and that guy pulls the ham out of the freezer, right? Clock starts. He makes the pizza, cooks the pizza, and delivers it to you. And if that whole process takes, let's say, 30 minutes, right?
You're
that
telling me
means
I got an hour and a half to eat that
you got an
pizza?
hour and a half to eat that pizza before it's bad.
So what if
right?
I put it into the fridge at an hour 29 left? Do I pull it out
then
of
it
the fridge?
then the clock pauses.
So then I
right?
have a minute.
No, but see, the thing is, even then, the clock doesn't actually pause the moment you close the freezer door, because then you have to wait for it to go below the cold
John,
temperature.
I'm calling bullshit on this rule. I'm bullshit on this rule. I haven't
food
died.
safe- there's
I
food-
have not died yet, and the amount of times I've eaten a pizza that I bought at 9:00 in the 9:00 in the evening, forgotten to put it in the fridge, woken up at 7 and seen that it's still there, and chowed on that bad boy. I'm still alive. I'm still standing, and that pizza's still good. Also, nothing better than cold pizza.
You've
Yeah.
also sent me a wide variety of snaps where you're like, "Oh man, I've had 4 shits today. What's wrong with me?" And it's like,
You didn't have to peel the curtain back that far, John.
Look, I think like Johnny's coming from a very like this is like restaurants. This is
yeah,
like
I
like,
did food safety training, and like I heard the
This
horror
is-
stories.
You haven't been to Batch College, bro.
I was
all right?
offered. They said if you want to, you can stick around for another couple of weeks, and you'll become a food safety officer, and we will give you the power to shut down restaurants. Right? That's
Yeah.
how much I fucking was hardcore about that shit.
Try and shut down my apartment, John. All right. And when that pizza enters my fucking door, the rules of time, space, and food go out the window. All right.
Castle doctrine applies. It's my
Castle
cut. It's my
doctor,
pizza.
you try and come in here and be like, excuse me, sir, you've got roughly 29 minutes. Like, fuck off. All right. I'm gonna eat that pizza fucking cold, man.
I've done the same thing.
No,
like
but-
just forgotten about a pizza on the
and
bench.
you've seen it there, like,
and like the next day, I'm just like, I should put that in the fridge. Like 12 hours later,
right?
and then I put it in the fridge, and then I take it out like another 3 hours when it's cold, and then eat that motherfucker.
You'll eat that motherfucker, won't
Yeah.
you? Thank you,
dude.
dude.
Cold pizza is it's so good.
I actually argue cold
So-
pizza's far more elite than reg pizza, man. Depends on the cut.
I mean,
depends on the
dude.
pizza you get.
Dude, pizza's hot. I mean, like
No,
Cold-
some
cold pizza-
cold pizza,
cold
man,
pizza
They
the
just
next-
hit you right. They
They
just
do,
hit you right.
they do.
You've had the sesh the night before. You've
Yeah.
woken up. You're fucking seedy. You've gone to the fridge. You can't be fucking microwaving that for a minute and a half. You haven't got time. You chow on that cold pizza, it's still good. It is still good pizza. And I argue it actually hits you far better. It hits your soul. It doesn't hit your stomach first, it hits your soul first. All right, that's the definition of soul food for me, man.
No, you know what
Fair.
the best
Have we introed the show yet?
No, but yeah, with that, welcome to Pint Party podcast. I'm a beer and a chat into a text right off. I'm your host, John McLeish, joining me this week. My Gimme Gang guest, David Yang, Ricki Needs Boys, welcome.
Hi.
Welcome, yes.
And the best food that's like the best like next morning food, honest to God, I'm not even kidding you, is
Don't say Chinese takeaway because you just can't reheat rice, in my opinion.
No, you really can't. No, KFC Wicked Wings. And I would argue they're actually better the next morning cold than they are fresh from the restaurant.
Oh, see.
Right?
Look,
Here's how I discovered this, right? So I went to a mate's place and...
no fast food aside from pizza and my keener.
I would normally agree with you. That's what I'm saying. Wicked Wings are the exception to the rule, right? Went to a mate's place, had KFC, right? And naturally we got the big fat fucking bucket of chicken, right? This was the night Halo 3 came out too. So like we were playing Halo 3, eating some chicken, drinking way too many energy drinks for like 13-year-olds, right? And then, took a break from playing Halo 3 to jump off the roof onto a trampoline. And then like next morning, right? Woke up and like, sorry, Dave's playing on his phone, and like I've said to him multiple times. In fact, on this very podcast, Dave, could you please not? And
this will be the last time I do that for the year.
Yeah. This is the last time you'll be doing it for the decade, boy. It's not even like the last time you've been like done for that, because you used to get done for it at uni all the time, right? I remember I'd sit next to him in class, and I'd be like, Dave, you should probably put your phone in your pocket. He's like, no, it's fine, it's on vibrate, and then it would go really loudly on the table, and then he'd quickly grab it and put it in his pocket and look really sheepish. And I'm like, you could have saved yourself just so much embarrassment, right? And then you know what he's doing 5 minutes later? He's putting that motherfucker back on the table, and like he hasn't learned his lesson.
Jackson, you, John, I get embarrassed.
You did get embarrassed.
It happens like once a semester. I'll just like walk into a classroom. And
fuck
just,
off!
like,
it's once a semester. That was once a week.
At least once a semester.
At a minimum. I'll give you that.
At a minimum, once a semester.
No, hashtag Lloyd. You got me. You did there. I will concede that point. Yep.
Dude, it's like the funniest meme I think I've ever seen this year is like, it's so simple. It's like someone looks up at the sky and goes, how many stars do you reckon are out there? And one bloke turns around and goes, I reckon there's at least 12. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Okay, but Wicked Wings.
Yes.
I was going to say, if you want to talk about a food that has a ticking clock, KFC has
it's got to be KFC.
KFC has the quickest ticking
KFC
clock.
it
does.
You have 20 minutes.
Yeah, you can't
If you do
eat
not-
KFC beyond where it's
If
actually
you
hot, in
do
my opinion.
not fucking take in that KFC within 20 minutes, it is dead to me. It's done.
Okay.
There is no such thing as microwaving that shit the next day.
I reckon
Yeah.
you can get
Doesn't
away with
exist.
popcorn chicken.
Popcorn chicken maybe, but like
That's what I'm saying.
But that's it, really.
For me, the Wicked
nothing.
Wings though, like it's because it's just deep fried chicken with the spicy shit in it. So there's something about it. The next morning, it's specifically in that hot sauce, that spicy
I was going to
sauce.
say, I reckon that the hot sauce, you're tasting that more than you are tasting the shitty chicken that's
Yeah.
going
Oh,
on.
yeah. You always are. But that's what I'm saying. Like when it's cold, I feel like there's some sort of there's some fucking mad science going on there. It's actually spicier cold.
What?
Yeah, when it coagulates, it does something to the fucking capsaicins or whatever the fuck it's called. The spicy bits. Capsaicins, right? And it does something to them, and it makes them hotter. It makes the chemical more potent.
I'd believe
right?
that.
And so when you're eating it, you're eating like really wicked wings.
I actually thought it would have done the completely inverse, and that's why you were putting
Me
over
too.
the next morning.
No,
because it's
it's even hotter. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but you got to eat them cold. You can't. If you microwave them, it undoes the whole thing, right? You got to have it. You got to have that hot sauce inside coagulate.
I'm actually
and
salivating, boys. Fuck.
I need some KFC now.
Yeah.
You,
I'm actually
you
grabbing a
bastard.
bit of KFC.
I had some before we came in, so I was like, I took.
I will say this for like, it's the same thing with like Macca's. Like, have you ever actually like microwave McDonald's?
I can microwave the cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Also, just quick disclaimer: if you're microwaving fries the next day, you genuinely
No,
have-
absolutely.
No.
That's a blanket. Yeah.
That is an actual culinary
Yeah.
crime.
Dude,
It is
never.
a second, no third.
No matter what either. Like it doesn't have to be Macca's chips. Any form of chips.
Top 3
Yeah.
culinary crimes. Number 1, Parma on top of the chips. Not having it. Number 2, if
Yes,
you're making
David.
iced coffee using ice cream as both your coolant and your sweetener, not on. Use an actual sweetener. I don't want to drink my fucking iced coffee black. I ordered an iced coffee. It's meant to be sweet. And then coming in at 3rd, do not reheat fucking next day chips.
Yeah, there's no such thing as that. It can't do it.
No,
It's
can't do it.
impossible.
Can't be
God.
done.
Yeah, I think actually it fucks with the structure of the potato inside the. It
Yeah.
it fucks it completely. So this is going back, speaking of like last week, back when I used to work at a pub back home, I had to work Christmas Day in the bottle shop.
Oh, God forbid.
I know, right? I only getting triple time. But we had to work Christmas Day. It was like a 6-7 hour shift in the bottle next to the pub. And so because we had to do that, we got to knock off early Christmas Eve, which meant we went out and got absolutely fucking rat shit drunk. So the next day all of us at work, and the next day was 4 of us. We all went out together, got fuck-eyed, and then had to work the next day. So we all roll in about, I think it was 9:30 in the morning. We had to start work, just seedy as hell. One of the girls rolled up in some dude's car. We're just like, who the fuck was that? She goes, oh no, met him last night. We're like, sweet. Like, dude, like I said, Christmas Eve in Echuca is a fucking mood. It's great. Anyway, the boss rolled around, and because he only lived like 3 blocks away, and he's like, how's everyone feeling? Because he knew we got fucked up. I think we actually got kicked out of our own bar the night before. Yeah, we did. Anyway, he bought us Maccas. We were all hungover. We couldn't eat it. Mm-hmm. So we just we let it sit like just next to the register all day. And then around about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I started being like, okay, I could eat something now. So I went and grabbed the fucking cheeseburger. No, it was a McMuffin, egg McMuffin. Went to the kitchen, chucked in the microwave for like 45 seconds to a minute. Came out. I couldn't have told you that fucking egg and bacon McMuffin had been sitting there for like 3 hours cold. Tasted exactly the same as if it had been fresh with quotation marks, straight from Macca's. Like
McDonald's is the exception of the rule.
There's Sans fries. McDonald's is always the exception.
There was no difference. Like the fucking the muffin even had like the same texture. Like it
That's where I thought they would have lost
it. It didn't go like microwave soggy.
No, you can leave that shit for 6 months and it still tastes like that.
It was just Macca's soggy. It was fucking incredible. I'm just eating.
I don't know if you've had it, but I do rate a cold egg and bacon McMuffin. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I wasn't. My body wasn't ready for that. I needed some warmth.
Your body was processing itself.
Yeah, I know. It was real bad.
But like the cold egg and bacon McMuffin ain't bad. There's been the odd occasion where I've woken up, gotten out and gotten some feed, realized I'm too drunk, put it down to the side, gotten back to it 3 hours later, had a bit of a bite out of it. Dude, it holds up.
It's one thing I'll give for Macca's because, like I said, KFC has a ticking clock. Hungry Jack's has a bit of a ticking clock as well because they really sauce up their burgers. And the minute, because that's the thing, at least with like a Big Mac or whatever, it's in that middle layer. So your 2 top and bottom bun aren't compromised by too much sauce. Same with like Quarter Pounder, same with like most of their burgers. Whereas like Hungry Jack's or Whopper, that top layer above the lettuce is just fucking sauce city. So that top burger bun is getting compromised by the second. If you leave that for any longer than like 20 to 30 minutes, that just becomes mush in your hand.
This is true.
Like, don't get me wrong, I rate Hungry Jack's as maybe the best.
I argue it's one of the best.
I think it's the best takeaway, like fresh, straight from the restaurant. That the burgers have heft to them.
Yeah, they're burgers in my opinion. I know
like
I know it's their jingle, but fuck, it's actually true.
A Big Mac is like lifting up a little bit of air. Like there's no weight to it. Even a Quarter Pounder doesn't have that much weight. Whereas like a Whopper, it feels like it's actually made of something.
Yeah.
But
it feels like it's actually made of meat.
Yes,
it's got mass.
At the same time, that just sort of like it starts to ruin the structural integrity of the burger quicker than a Macca's burger because a Macca's burger is just held together with, I guess, fairy magic and fucking
preservatives.
Yeah, and preservatives.
I'm glad you said the fucking gimmick side. Like you want these burgers to be structured so well, right?
Yeah.
I hate this fucking trend that has been going around for the last couple of years of gimmick burgers. Burgers that are bigger than your mouth size.
Oh, yeah. Can't do it.
Inefficient and stupid. It makes no sense.
It's the Instagram burger. It's like I can put it on Instagram, I get a bunch of likes, and then people will come to my restaurant. That's it. That's the reason that people do this shit. It's for likes, it's for clout, it's for like you can't eat them.
I got fucking served a burger the other day where half the burger itself had to be put to it like on its own, like on the burger,
like an open face burger.
Yeah, an open face burger. That's the definition, actually. And I'm looking at that and going, okay, obviously I have to assemble myself. Not against that. I like a bit of interactivity.
No, right? I'm thoroughly against it.
This is food. This is food, not Lego.
Food to me is just purely protein, carbs, and fats. I'll just consume. Right?
Fucking Lego. I shouldn't have to assemble my fucking food.
I agree with you.
For me, it's like I'm paying extra to do your employee's job.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's like, and you're not paying me nothing for it. In fact, it's quite the opposite. So go fuck yourself. Hell's no. Right? If you're going to do an open face burger, you give it to me at a discount. All right? Less the wage of the amount of time it would have cost for the employee to assemble it. Right? Then I will buy it.
The only thing I'm really respecting the influx of these burger joints is that they're mixing beers and burgers. And I think that is, to me, a combination that, obviously, I don't think they invented it. They didn't. Pubs probably did. Of
course not.
But to make brick and mortar stores that are purely just, here we have a gimmick burger and we're going to pair it with a beer, that to me is one of the finest things that's ever come out of this whole gimmick, aside from the shitty burgers.
I'm not against burger experimentation either. I'm not against people being like, let's see what we can do with a burger.
Yeah, you put some mac and cheese in there, I'm okay with
Yeah.
it. But just don't let that also be 4 different beef patties as well as bacon and then lettuce, and it sits about 30 centimeters high.
Yeah.
That's the concern.
Yeah, it's too much. A double patty is the premium. That's it. Like double patty is perfect. You can't go beyond that, I don't think. Triple patty, especially if you're going like those big fucking like the.
Oh yeah, I'm talking half an inch,
like a pub patty. Because there's a difference in a pub patty and like a burger shop patty. Because you got the smash burger, which is like that nice thin, crispy, just perfect fucking cooked patty. Whereas like a pub patty, that's thick, and that's one you can actually be like, I want that medium rare because it's like as thick as a steak.
Yeah,
but
it's good cut too.
It's a good cut, thick as a steak, but like it's not a burger. It's a pub burger. There's a difference. Double patty. That's it.
I respect that.
Double patty is as far as I go. I can't do triple, quadruple patty. Now we're starting to talk fucking just insanity.
Well, okay, so
do that shit.
Did I ever tell you all about the time I did the Octoburger?
The fuck is
that
that?
8 patties?
That's 8 patties. So
Eight.
so when I the first time I
What
went to
kind of
university-
patties?
Cheeseburger patties from
Isn't
McDonald's.
this the gimmick in
Okay.
America?
No.
The heart attack or something? Like,
No, well, maybe, but like, so
No,
I did
that's-
this. I did this
Oh, no,
when I was at
I know what you're talking
when I was at RMIT as a TAFE kid. This is like fresh out of high school. I'm like a dickhead kid, and we used to go to the Maccas because like we're all poor, and they had remember the dollar change menu. It was like you get cheeseburgers for $2.
so you made yourself an Octoburger.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, and here's what I paired it with: Che Guevara themed energy drink from the reject shop next door. So we went over there, and you could get cans for $2. So we got $2 cans, and then went over to the Maccas, and I bought 4 double cheeseburgers. 2, 4, 6. 4 double cheeseburgers, and then I pulled all the buns off and put them all together, and then it had this tall thing, and then I like ate the thing. And we did it in the restaurant, and we had an audience, and I ate the thing, and all my mates were looking at me being like, are you like alive? Like, are you gonna die? And I'm like, man, I'm convinced the doctors are gonna take my leg. Like, that's it. I'm getting the diabetes from that. Guy comes over and goes, mate, that was fucking impressive. And he bought me a large Coke and he puts it down. He goes, have that to wash it down with. All right. And that's the time I ate an Octoburger. It was a fucking wild ride.
Actually salivating.
It was a fucking wild ride.
I'm not.
I'm fucking hungry.
This is like where it starts for my decline into like depravity.
Oh, health went down the hill at that point. Don't worry about it.
It's a very short fall from like eating 8 cheeseburger patties all in one burger.
How can you go back?
to hard narcotics? Like it's
See,
really not a big fall.
That's probably the way to do it. Because have you ever tried the pounder?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
The actual pounder, like,
Yeah, so you can
or
go,
you make your own kind
No,
of
no,
pounder,
you can
like,
just go to Macca's and just be like, I want a pounder, and it's 4 fucking
Yeah,
quarter
yeah.
pounders, right? Problem is with that is so you did it the smart way. You ordered 4 cheeseburgers, so you got 4 burgers worth of sauce.
Yep.
With the pounder, they put 1 quarter
it's just
pounders worth of
raw
sauce
meat.
and just put fucking extra patties on. So it is dry, and it is not pleasant to eat. And like I was like, can I get like 3-4 extra ketchup packets? And I put like 1 whole ketchup packet in between each patty. Because like it's not a pleasant thing to try and digest.
What were you going through in your life to?
We were
order a
doing it. It was like we were doing because like when I was
just curiosity.
When I was at uni, we used to do these 24-hour gaming LANs with the gaming club.
Oh, good memory.
And we would do dumb shit. Like when it got to like 4 a.m. and we're probably a bit sick of playing video games, we'd start doing dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we went there and like 3 of us tried to eat the pat. Like we timed it and had a race and shit,
Yeah.
and tried to like win. And I couldn't do it. It was too much. It was too dry. It's just yeah.
My mates were always
good.
stocked. We used to go to there's a place called like Family Mart in the city, and it's like a little it's like a 7-Eleven but full of like like Chinese stuff, like Chinese food, imported food, and they used to have like the little Thai bottles of Red Bull. And so we'd buy and you could buy like a 12 pack for like $5. So we'd buy like a bunch of them and a bunch of other like snacks and stuff and do the all 24-hour LANs. And like the dumbest thing I ever did was just like sustain myself for 24 hours on like Thai Red Bull.
Yeah, those things are brutal.
I got my heart rate up to 220 beats a minute.
Jesus, fuck.
And like this is like on the train home at the end of the whole thing, and we're all like checking our heart rates, and everybody else is at like 120 or 100 to 120. Everyone's like, oh, that's a bit high, and like they're checking my pulse, and they're going, it's at 220 as I'm drinking the last bottle, and they take it out of my hands, like, no, you're done.
That's actually fuck.
You're gonna fucking
Yeah,
die.
no,
That's like I used to do a lot of dumb shit. Like that was Oh boy, that was some fucking stupid shit.
So, boys, this is the final episode of 2019.
It is. It's the
Final
final
episode.
episode. It
Fuck,
is.
we've come a long
And I
way.
think this is actually a really good kind of discussion because the next morning when people are fucked up, you're gonna need this definitive fast food guide, right? To be like, okay,
true.
what's good for microwave the next morning? What's better cold? Like I said, Wicked Wings, I don't know if I'd recommend them as a hangover food, but here's the thing. They are the least effort. You can just pull them out the fridge and you start munching.
True.
Right?
Same
You
with
are good
pizza,
to go.
man.
True.
Now, but see, pizzas for me is kind of 50-50. It depends on the pizza, right? And it depends on, it's not even like, all Hawaiian pizzas or whatever, because it's a pizza from certain pizza places.
I agree with-
Depending
I'll
on
give you that,
how
I'll
that
give you that.
pizza place makes that kind of
If
pizza.
you trust
it's
your
entirely
pizza joint
Yeah.
and you know your pizza, so like,
Yeah.
I'm an Aussie man. I fuck with a good Aussie.
Yeah.
Right? So it's got a bit of egg, bit of ham, bit of tomato sauce on that. It's not a difficult pizza, right? The Aussie the next day, superb. There's something about that cold egg.
But it
that
depends
just
on the
fucking
pizza
gets it.
joint as well.
And I agree. And I trust my pizza joint. I've
Yeah.
trusted quite a few pizza joints over the time. All right. Now, this begs into the brilliant discussion that Ricki and I were having on the drive in, actually, before we recorded this podcast.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you're sitting here listening to this CD, it's because the night before, I'm convinced you got asked, hey, you want to just have one beer? One beer ain't turning into one beer, all right? I'm convinced. Like, we were coming in this morning,
Yes.
driving into the office to do
Yes.
the podcast recording, just shit talking like as we do. And I don't remember if we got onto it, but it was this concept of like, hey man, like we should get a beer before, right? We should get a beer, have a beer, and like just relax before we start the podcast. What, and I convinced I said to you, I was like, one beer. Now that is to me the only time I've ever actually had one beer when it's been propositioned, hey, do you want to just have one cheeky beer?
Yeah, no, that's not a thing. It's not a thing.
But I don't even know if it's just Australian culture. Like this whole concept
I don't
of,
know, man.
hey, you chuck it into the group chat. The group chat's like,
Yeah.
boys, what are we doing? Just want to go grab a cheeky beer. Just one beer, yeah? Down at the local. Never turns into one cheeky beer.
No.
Yesterday, I was out getting dinner. Mate hits me up and just goes, you want to get dinner? Just grab a beer real quick, right? We'll be there for about 40 minutes. We were there for 2 hours later watching the World Series darts, sinking beers.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Nothing. Dude, darts? Okay. Don't even get me fucking started. Darts is the most... Oh, dude. Okay, I know, John, you're popping, but I am not even gimmicking right now. This is complete shoot.
Dude, you are preaching to the choir. I fucking love darts.
Dude, I know maybe about 70% of the rules of darts. I know how the game plays, right? But fuck me, to watch those boys get up and play some darts, holy shit. I have never seen... I'm going to call them athletes. To me, they're athletes, all right?
I agree. No,
I have
completely
never
agree.
seen a pair of athletes, when they knock down that perfect game, just fucking throw their... Like the classic dad move, right? Obviously, we're an audio podcast. You can't really
the
see.
big fist pump.
But it's that mid torso,
Yeah.
slight exertion back and forth like that.
Yeah.
You're not going all the way out like that, but it's like, yeah! As they've sunk in that final one, then they grab their beer and they slap it
I
back
feel like that's like the boomer version of like the Leighton Hewitt. Come on!
Yeah.
Right.
But even that's the boomer version of Leighton Hewitt's.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it is.
But
yeah,
it's that fucking, you sink that final one, and like we as the crowd are going, fuck yeah, and then he's vibing it too, and he's just pulled up he's gone down halfway down torso and just gone, yeah, and fucking, he's ripping that lawnmower, is how I describe it. He's just one tug of that lawnmower, he doesn't want his neighbor to see that he's actually tried to pull it 3 or 4 times. He wants his neighbor to think, I only pulled it once, I got a perfect lawn pull. Yeah! Like that. It's a clean mid-torso fist bump.
yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Darts.
Fucking
Darts.
Darts
You
are
don't
sick.
get that shit anywhere else.
Darts
alright?
are sick.
Darts fucking pops off. I'm sick of the... I put it over to the NBA. They do their pre-game rituals and they do and NFL does the touchdown dances, but nothing tops a perfect dart game, and they just pull up and they just give you one.
Actually,
of those.
yeah, I would say,
Like-
yeah. No, I agree with you there. Darts is kind of like the NFL of pub games in that, like, you score a touchdown, they have their whole little gimmick, right?
Yeah.
You get a perfect set, and dart people have their own little gimmick. See, I grew up in a pool family. We played pool.
To me,
right?
pool
And
is pub
like
golf.
No, yes, I'm saying it's
Right.
like golf,
It's
right?
pub golf.
And I'm not even shitting you. We used to watch pool tournaments on television, because it used to be on Channel 31, like every Friday night they'd have the pool tournament on, and we'd sit and watch it, and we'd watch them play like 8 racks, right? And at the end of it, like when somebody's on like a fucking clean run and they just go pop 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 and just and they fucking clear the table, right? As soon as they walk away from, like, everybody claps and everybody's like, yeah,
it's a golf club.
Yeah, it's a golf club, and there's a little bit of hooting and hollering, but the person who's done it just walks away like they're the fucking queen.
Yeah,
right. He's like, yes, that's right. That's right.
It's pub's equivalent of golf.
It's the pub equivalent of golf.
It's also like you have to remain cool. If you've like done a really good shot in pool, no one needs to know about it.
Yeah, cool guys don't look at explosions.
Yeah, but it's the same
not with darts, boys.
It's the same as strike face. If you hit a strike,
Yeah.
that turn around and then walk back to your group, you can't be like fucking, look at me, I got a fucking strike. You'd be like, yeah, that was pretty good.
Fuck off. Okay.
I know you would.
I am the opposite.
I fucking know
when
that
I knock
you
down a
would.
strike, boy, I'm fucking turning it around. I'm hitting that LeBron fucking like you do the double knee ups like
fucking
this.
hell, you
I'm
would.
slapping my chest. I'm pointing to the fucking lane next to me going, you see that shit? You see that shit? That's fucking clean strike. And then I'll whip it the next one.
Well,
And
people with a
But-
fucking healthy ego.
And that, children, is the story of why David doesn't play professional bowling.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I
it's-
barely get to 80.
It's that strike face of like, it's kind of hard to explain on the podcast, but it's like, when you're trying to suppress a smile and you're sucking your lips.
It's a smirk. It's the side smirk. It's
you sort of suck your lips back and just like, it's that cheeky little thing. It's like that, and then like when you hit a really good shot, a really good run in pool, you do the same thing. You don't gloat. If you're playing your mates and you want to give them a bit of fucking stick, then yeah, sure, give it to them. But if you're playing like some blokes like challenge you to a game, never let them know you're doing a good job. Just be like, yeah.
You know the best fucking strike celebration I've ever seen? I'm going to put him over. Shout out to Connor. All my wrestling freaks out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. He hit a clean strike, fucking turns around, and then hits the Bray Wyatt.
Oh, really?
And goes down and does the fucking bridge, the reverse bridge.
That's a hell of a celebration for
it's
a
one
strike.
It's one of the best fucking strike celebrations I've ever seen.
I didn't know Connor was that flexible.
Neither did I.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Shout out to any girl he sees. God damn. But fuck, man. Like, respect. Like, and only the wrestling freaks out there will know.
Yeah.
But no, you nailed it. Like that. There's the Winface.
Winface, exactly.
We say it a lot in wrestling,
Winface.
and I believe it has to be actually a thing.
It is.
This concept of Winface.
No,
like
it is. It's not even just a thing in wrestling. It's like through osmosis, I've learned a lot of wrestling lexicon from you boys, right? But and one of those is the concept of Winface and Loseface, which for people who at home, next time you watch like WWE, in fact, go on YouTube, there'll probably be people who have like obvious cases of Winface. Like, go and watch one of those compilations, and you'll see the wrestler that comes out, and they're the one that's going to win the match. They'll come out and they're smiling just that little extra more, got that little extra smile,
a little bit more pep to their walk.
A little bit more pep, a little bit of spring in their step, and then there's like Loseface, which is the opposite. It's like a little bit of less pep and a little bit of less smile, and right, even though they're coming out and they're trying to act like, yeah, I'm going to win, right? So, but it applies in the real world as well, Winface and Loseface. So way back when, this is when after Theresa May resigned from the Conservative Party in England, they were about to announce who the next leader of the Conservative Party was. And I watched the conference where they announced it, right, on the news. And they had the two people who came out. It was Boris and I can't remember who the other guy is now. But they hadn't come out one at a time. And it's like, oh, yeah, like, oh, here are the two candidates. And, they come out and you clap and everything. Comes out, the guy who comes out first, right, who's the other guy, had Winface. I was like, oh, he fucking knows. Because even though they're not supposed to know the result, I'm like, somebody's leaked the result to these boys. And because he came out and he had Winface. And I was like, fuck, he's got Winface. Especially, and here's how, and it got confirmed because Boris comes out and he was looking down, he was kind of shuffling, he looked a little bit embarrassed and ashamed. I was like, he's got Loseface. Like, oh shit, okay. And then, of course, Boris comes out on top. And I was like, holy fuck. Like,
you just got worked.
I got fucking worked. I got fucking worked.
That's Boris's whole gimmick, though.
It is.
He plays you, man.
He is an affable, goofy fucking idiot, but he knows that if he plays it like that, people will underestimate him.
Yeah, he is.
What do you think I do with my life?
That's a good point.
Yeah. I didn't want to make it a whole. I don't want to make it a whole thing. I just like as a real world like concept. Like this is like high level, like geopolitics, like even there in that arena, there is the concept of Winface and Loseface, and you can see it. It doesn't always play out that way, right?
Oh, yeah,
but like you can it is a thing that happens in humans.
It's just a bit of fun for us watching at home. Also, a little bit of humble brag. I'm convinced we've invented Winface, Loseface. I don't think I've heard it anywhere else.
I have.
Have you actually?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been around the pro wrestling, like,
Oh, it has actually?
like
Yeah.
commentators and like internet commentators and stuff. I'm sure I picked it up subconsciously from somebody. So it's been around for a while.
Fair.
I think I've seen like videos with it on YouTube and stuff where people are like, top 10 Winface obvious things
I'd love
or
to see
whatever.
that, actually.
Right?
We should maybe if it doesn't exist, we should do it ourselves
Yeah, you guys.
if we have time.
You guys can figure that out.
But we're too busy.
You could do like an Oscars Winface, Loseface, like you pan across the crowd.
That actually would be like the most
That'd be a
interesting, like
fucking fun one to do.
especially like go back and watch years where it was like a fucking lock, like where you just like everyone knew it was like it's gonna like the year Leo won.
Yeah,
like just like
yeah.
I want to see like the look in his eye. Just
Dude, I'd actually argue every time Leo was up, he probably had Winface because he probably should have won it more.
Yeah, I know, but like I just love that gimmick of like they have like the little box with everyone's face in it.
Yeah.
And like
because it's built for Winface.
I know,
Loseface.
and like you're never looking for the guy who wins. You're looking for like the person who like has that momentary like reaction of like fuck, I lost, but then they have to like compose himself really quickly and just be like, oh yes, well done, clap, 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 clap. But
And
like
if you pause right here, you can...
this is when his heart breaks.
When his heart breaks.
Yeah, but like, I would just love to go back and just watch a compilation of like people just being like, just watching all the color drain from their face, being like, oh fucking hell, that cunt won. Like, I need to go back and like watch that. Actually, I will be watching this year very carefully to see. I don't know who the nominees are yet for the Oscars, but I've got a fair idea of who's going to be up, and it's going to be.
Surely Wykin walks in with Winface.
That's the thing, man.
Oh, it's tough, isn't
Does
it?
he? Does
Tough,
he? Does he
isn't
get
it?
it? Does Leo get it again? Like, who fucking knows? But anyway, going back to like the whole pub thing. This is our New Year's Eve episode,
Yes.
and a few episodes ago, I was saying that I had New Year's Eve off.
Yeah, you do.
And I'm like, I need something to do. Now I've got something to do. So me and David are going to, and a few other people are going to a rooftop party in
Fucking
South Melbourne.
Holy shit.
We're not fucking around.
Oh
my God.
This is the send off.
This is kind of the opposite of what I said I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't remember what you said you wanted.
I want to like do just like a quiet house party.
That's what I'm doing this year.
Something like that.
I go to a quiet house party every year.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was kind of just like, I think it was after Good Things. We both got that like the sesh vibe is just it's taken hold, and we're kind of like, all right, is this going to be the retirement party,
dude?
Or is
I'm also going out New Year's Day.
You are too.
Day fest.
Yeah, you are too. Fine.
I am. Look, I said it at Good Things. I remember a couple of weeks ago I called. I was like, look, to me, this is my sesh time. I'm going to throw out the year this way because that for me, that was a 3-dayer. Went Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah.
When you told us that, do you remember what we told you? Okay, Elton John.
Yeah. pretty much. Yeah. Righto. Okay. Sure.
I've since then decided I've still got a bit of gas left in the tank. I'm still at a professional. Like I'm Kobe coming back from Achilles, right? I'm like I've still got something left to give to the league. I think.
Are you or are you?
You're
like,
not the
hang
same,
on.
but you're
I'm
still
not
pretty.
the same. I'm not
Are
the same
you?
as I
Are
was.
you Kobe or are you Muhammad Ali?
Oh, Muhammad Ali is actually a better comparison.
No, because but remember what happened when he came back.
Well,
He shouldn't have come
come
back.
out. He took out a few knocks. Look, I'm going to use Kobe because Kobe, my boy. It's like Kobe coming back after that Achilles, and he's just like he's saying to himself that obviously the league has moved on, they're faster and all that kind of stuff. Such as me, like the sesh has moved on. It's a faster paced sesh now.
But you're Kobe. You're still better than most.
And that's what I'm saying. I've still got something to give to the league. I still got that. And to me, this New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, this is Kobe walking into his final game. Shaq, which is I'm going to call Connor in this situation. He's gone out. He said, "Give me a 50 piece." Connor's gone out. He's gone, "Mate, David, give me a fucking absolute like send off. I want 10 snaps from you." Like. This is
Connor has bailed on us, by the way.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah.
No longer mentioned on this cast.
No.
To me, this is my 60-point game.
All right.
This is my
Right.
this is my Kobe 60-point game. We're going out with a bang and we're going out with a W.
Is it
I will
or
be,
are you Muhammad Ali coming back, losing it and walking away with permanent brain damage? Right, that's the.
We'll see come
way.
We'll see come New Year's Day.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the. I guess this is the question.
Yeah.
Am I going to be Kobe or am I going to be Muhammad Ali?
Exactly. Yeah. You see, if you can back up and pull out a good New Year's Day, then you've done all right. But New Year's Eve first. So we've got a rooftop party in South Melbourne. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun. Yeah, a bit low key, you know. So not too.
Yeah.
No.
3.5 hours of
Unlimited drinks.
of unlimited
rooftop
drinks. Yeah.
bars, Bit of a Latin fest is what it's.
Latin theme.
It's got Latin theme.
We gotta figure out something to wear.
Well,
I
okay,
got
so
no fucking
I'm
idea.
thinking I'm going to double rock the good things gimmick again.
You're going to go the short sleeve
I
suit.
think it's still much like how I still think I've still got some juice left to the league. I think
on.
the suit's still got some juice left to give to the
What
sesh.
is the expected
That's the thing.
temperature?
It's like I'm waiting until like the weather is confirmed before I start committing to anything, because like it could be a case of the short sleeve suit might be the way to go, and I can pull mine off and we could go together. Or
I think you should.
I might
Ricki.
want to wear some fucking pants.
Or here's the
knows?
other thing. Now, if I might throw out a suggestion here for you lads, all right? Now,
If you say Hawaiian shirt, I'm going to flame you.
no, I'm not going to say Hawaiian shit. No, because the theme is you just said Latin. Now, Dave, I can't believe you haven't lawyered this, but Latin means a lot of things, right? Now, you've so far in the context that you've spoken, you seem to mean Latin American, so South America, so Mexico, Colombia, right, all those kinds of
The place
places.
we're going is called El Coco. So
Central and South America, but Latin could also mean dudes in togas.
How the fucking Latin also mean dudes in togas?
Because Latin was the language that was spoken in the ancient world, you uncultured fuck.
Oh shit, okay, whatever. Fuck me, John. I'm sorry. I only know legal Latin. All right.
That was the language.
I know, but I only know legal Latin.
Right.
I don't know the culture of legal Latin. Fuck that.
All right. No, but what I'm saying is that there was
Oh
a
my God,
language
do
that
you
was
wanna
spoken.
Do you want to rock togas?
no.
That's
Okay,
what
fair
I
enough.
was suggest. That
If
was,
we
that
were
was
going,
the point.
if we were going to a white party that wasn't specifically a toga party, then I would be like, we'll just rock togas at the white party. But we're not going to a white party, so
Yeah, fair play. Okay, fair play.
we'll work something out. We got a little bit of time, but yeah, we can work something out. But yeah, so I'm doing the exact opposite of what I thought I would be doing.
Yeah.
Well, this
and
is also like
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and like to me, this is like the first time I've done a New Year's event where it's been like a go out.
Yeah,
New
like
Year's
we've got like tickets and shit.
Yeah,
for
like
this,
proper
like
tickets for this event, like going
It's-
out. Because normally, I think we've discussed it already, but our New Year's, like traditional New Year's for me, it shifts. It used to be, there was always one that's consistent, and that's going out to get Macca's at midnight with Jason.
I was going to say, are we doing that again? Because
Potentially, I don't know.
if you're doing this thing, like I feel like I don't know if you're going to even be.
I think this might be, I don't know.
There is
I think this might be.
there is a Macca's close to where we're going.
I think I might be able to keep it alive, but I do want to see. I might hit up Jason and see if you might. No, because it'll be in the CB. Where? South Melbourne, yeah?
It's in South Melbourne. Yeah. So there is a Macca's really close
I don't
to
want
where
this gimmick to die.
I know.
But we're moving into a
But
new
also, like-
decade. Maybe
but, like-
new gimmicks need to happen.
maybe that's it. And also, like, the whole thing is like the reason it's a rooftop bar is because South Melbourne has an unobstructed view of the city. Kind of want to see the fireworks.
Oh, 100%
Isn't
seeing the fireworks.
Isn't that like the whole thing?
Oh,
like the whole
absolutely.
reason.
The Macca's midnight run is like at 1 a.m. 1
1, 2
a.m.
Yeah,
Right, I thought so. Yeah. You're just saying it's a New Year's.
It's the first thing I generally eat in the new year.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
like the gimmick. It's like I'll start the new year
Yeah.
with a shit feed, and then to me I say it, but it never really happens.
Try to
I
go as long.
Yeah, that's the shittest feed I'll have this year, and then everything else will be good. That lasts generally.
I don't
the
know.
best ones lasted about a month and a bit.
That's all right. Yeah.
The
So-
worst one lasted 22 hours.
Yeah, that sounds
Roughly.
more accurate, right?
I also
there.
enjoy it because I get to catch up with Jason. Like,
Yeah.
and I very rarely get
It's
to do
a
that.
good gimmick. I really like it. I don't want. I'm torn. I'm torn because new decade to me. I'm looking at it and I'm being a bit like, okay, new me, new year, new decade. I'm going to come up with a whole variety of new gimmicks and leave all the old ones and retire them. Not forget about them, but retire them.
Yep.
Right. So they leave on a high note.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hang
that's
up
fair.
the jersey.
Hang up the jersey. Oh God, we're using a lot of fucking sports terminology in this final podcast of 2019.
Specifically me, which is the biggest surprise, quite frankly, is that I'm using more sports metaphors than I've ever used in my life.
But I want to hang up these jerseys though when you go to the rafters. But the Macca's one to me is wholesome.
Yeah.
It's wholesome, and I don't think I've squeezed out all the juice from that one.
No.
yet. I think
Also-
there's still something to give.
Yeah.
I can retire
there's
New
no-
Year's Uno. That
Yeah.
can go to fuck itself.
Yeah. Also, there's no reason that that Ricki couldn't bring Ricki along.
No, 100% I'll be Ricki. But
Right.
what I'm saying is like the
'cause
core
he's-
cast is me and Chase.
Yeah.
And then we've added on you, and then we can add on Ricki.
Yeah.
But like, if this gimmick is to continue into the next decade, it needs to be me and
Okay,
Chase.
might I offer a tactical reason for doing it though? Right. So you're saying you've got a day gimmick going on New Year's Day, right?
Yes.
So and you're going to go hard New Year's Eve.
I'm going hard
Now-
New Year's Eve. New Year's Day to me is like
Yeah.
I'm gonna relax and just vibe.
but you're still going to be consuming alcohol, right? What I'm saying is that the midnight, not midnight, but like the middle of the night Macca's run gives you this greasy food in your stomach, which is soaking up that booze, which gives you then the ability to consume more New Year's Day, right? So that helps you out in there. That would keep you at peak performance, right, by taking this pit stop. Right, it's like if Formula One drivers, right, don't run on the same set of tires the whole race, right? They take the pit stop, they swap out the tires. This is your tire swap.
This is my tire swap.
This is your tire swap, right? And I'm saying bring Ricki along because this poor boy is going to be just as fucked as you are.
Oh no shit!
Right?
Yeah,
And I think he could do with a pit stop himself.
And I've only got to work the next day.
Yeah, right. He could do a pit. He could do a pit stop too. Not to mention, right? You've got a nice couch. You could put him up. Right, I just get on the train and go straight home. But like you could put him up, you could look after.
Oh,
him.
we're not crashing yours, Ricki.
No, we're crashing at mine.
We're crashing at
Oh, you're gonna
Ricki's.
crash
Like
at
this,
his? Okay.
like literally, like the place we're going is like a 15-minute walk from my house,
Oh right, okay.
and
Yeah.
then like another 10-minute walk to like the rest of the city. Where,
Do I
Yeah.
bring the title belt?
yes, do it.
Done.
I will challenge you somehow during the night for
Done.
that title belt.
Done.
I will make that
Done.
fucking
Say
happen.
no more. Done. Say no more. Don't even talk about it anymore. Done. Title
Sweet.
belt's going. Done.
Anyway, so yeah, New Year's plans. So, well, we're doing something.
At least we're doing something.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
okay.
So we're
Okay.
sending. We're gonna. Okay, gimmick idea alert. Actually, I want to run.
Here we
go. All right, this is gonna be fun. We touched on it like 10, 12 something podcasts ago, where I was like, the new thing with the teens nowadays is the slap a post stamp on me because I'm gonna send it.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking-
it was a slap a stamp on me because slap a stamp on me because I'm sent.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like
I'm sent or I'm going to be sending it. Now,
Yeah.
gimmick alert.
Which blows my mind out because it implies that they have a firm grasp of analog communication, which is unbelievable to
and
me.
the postal system, which is dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm going to buy some stamps. And I just want, I just want us to slap some stamps on our forehead throughout the night, and just when people come
Have
and
you
ask
learned
us,
nothing from George Costanza?
no, what?
That's how his wife died.
Oh my god!
No, she licked a bunch of them.
Yeah, that was
no.
the
She
shitty stamp.
She licked envelopes.
Yeah, but the stamp, it was implied the stamps also had that shit on it. That's like in later episodes. There was like stamps were just as bad.
Look, fuck, fair enough. The gimmick still remains though. I want to slap some stamps on our forehead, and I want the gimmick to be throughout the night when people ask us, "Yo, man, why is a stamp on your forehead?" Well, it's because we're about to be fucking sent. Ricki, what do we think?
I feel like you could just cosplay as like
I
outboxes.
feel like you can do that all you like, and I'll just not.
God, I'm going out for this, man.
Yeah,
I'm
look,
ready to ring in the Roaring 20s.
If
boys.
you bring extra stamps, I might do it once with you. Maybe for the gram.
Okay.
Maybe for the gram. But I don't really want to walk around with stamps on my head all night.
I say you make a thing out of it. I think every time someone you start out with one, you put one on, and it's got to be somewhere prominent, like on your forehead, right? Every time someone asks you about it, it's a drinking game. You do a shot, and you put a second stamp.
Oh, that's dangerous. That is dangerous.
I like it.
That is
I
dangerous.
Like it.
That is
I like
dangerous, David. That is dangerous.
It is. I might have just
That is
killed Dave.
dangerous.
I like it.
My
Maybe-
RSA is kicking in. my reflex of being like I should be responsible right now is kicking in very hard. Don't do that. That's
but
a
what's-
fucking terrible
but
idea.
what's Ricki saying,
You know what's
mate?
even better? You know what's even better? Here's what Ricky's saying. This is an even better idea. I have the stamps. I lick one. I slap it on your forehead. Someone goes, "What the fuck was that for?" You have a beer in your hand. I'm going, "That's because he's about to fucking send it," and you neck the beer.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Cut the podcast. We're done. That's it.
But then you got to slap another stamp on. So you got to have so that you keep track of how many times that's happened.
Doing multiples is just that's
Constraints
dangerous.
make creativity.
They do.
We get 10 stamps each,
Oh,
and we get to both do it to each other.
I'd limit
to a
it.
point where I slap
I
it
would
on you.
limit it to 5.
5?
Yes.
Okay. I agree with
Also,
that.
we don't want to get kicked out of this fucking party before midnight.
Damn true. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Once again,
Okay.
the RSA is kicking in. I know how bartenders and security think when it comes to this bullshit. They will have, and especially on New Year's Eve,
Yeah, fair.
they will have no fucking leeway and look for any excuse to get us the fuck out of there.
5 stamps each. We're doing this.
Okay.
This is done.
Okay.
This is officially a gimmick.
Okay.
Oh yes.
See,
Title
now-
belt, beer goggles, sending it. Done.
Now, see, but now
All
the
right.
question is,
Shit.
Now the question is though, like we've discussed outfits. What stamp do you get? What is the stamp?
cheapest
I didn't even
stamps.
fucking think of it. Oh shit!
Like,
how
what-
much are they nowadays?
Well, that's well,
I don't
that's the
fucking
thing.
know.
I haven't used a stamp.
I just go to if I have to ever post anything, which is rarely, I just go to the thing and I'm just like, I'm here to pay for postage. I give them the parcel and then I give them my money and walk the fuck away.
Yeah, but there's different designs on stamps. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a whole thing. Like, what
That's
design
true.
goes best with the gimmick that
I'm
you're
with
doing.
Ricki on this. Cheapest one.
Just the cheapest
If
one?
there
Cheapest
are-
one that looks cool.
If there are some
That's what
sort
I'm
of
saying, but, like what looks cool? Like if you could design a stamp.
if there are some gimmick like turn of the decade ones that we can get a hold of, perhaps.
Perhaps, those
Aside
are-
from that,
If they had to be country ones,
if we have like some Australian looking ones,
Yeah, I would
with
go
like
with
a
the Australian
flag,
ones.
Or do you want to go?
a
Or do you want to go
kangaroo.
like hardcore traditional and get ones of the Queen?
Ooh.
I think this is a perfect segue as well into our 2020 predictions. Yes, John, I'm with you. We should
Yes.
get the Queen's one because I don't think you're going to be getting the Queen's one there.
I don't know if they're available in Australia because I know you can get them in England, but I don't know if you can get them. In
You're definitely not going to be able to get them at the end of the 2020s. Let me tell you that. All right.
We're doing.
Let me tell you that much, boys, because I'm putting feelers out of the
This is
wall.
your first big 2020 prediction.
Thus begins the 2020s, the whole entire decade, big predictions, and I'm firmly putting it out there into the audio land, waves, or whatever we want to call them. My biggest prediction for the 2020s, as gruesome as it sounds, let's be real, the Queen ain't making it out of the 2020s.
So
Fuck no.
The Queen ain't making it out of the 2020s.
Here's the only reason why I would dispute you, and that is because for the 2 decades before he died, have you ever been to the website like who's going next or something.com where it's like they
God.
rank a list of celebrities who they think are going to die that year?
I have not.
Okay,
Holy
so
shit.
there's like a whole list, and it's like, and it's not just like celebrities, like fucking Tom Cruise or shit like that, right? It's like movie stars, political figures, politicians, everybody,
They
right?
try to be as accurate as possible, right? So people who are genuinely like 89, like 91,
Yeah. They try, and
Yeah.
it's like they're trying to make shoot predictions. Every year for 2 decades, like almost 2 decades before he died, Fidel Castro was at number 1, right? He held that spot, right, up until the day he died, right? And like I said, he made it through at least one whole decade, and that whole decade they were like, he's not making it through the end of this decade, right? And then he did.
I don't care what the naysayers say. The Queen's at the top of my list.
I just think logistically she's probably going to die in the next decade. Like
I just think,
just
Father Time is undefeated.
how old?
Right? Father Time is undefeated.
His KD ratio is insane.
he hasn't
It
taken
is.
an L.
It is.
All right.
How old is she? She's in her 90s, yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna.
Someone do a
And
quick
what did,
fact
and
check
what did
for
the
us.
and what did the Queen Mum live till? She was.
So she's outlived the Queen Mother. She's
She
the
has.
oldest reigning monarch on Earth.
Oh, okay. So
In
she's done.
history.
Yeah.
She's done.
I'm with you. This is what I'm saying. I'm willing to stake money on it at this point.
I mean, I think that's got to be like if you had Sportsbet make a fucking thing.
Oh my God, Sportsbet,
the
please
fact that
out
the
us on
Queen
this.
ain't make it out of the decade would be pretty short odds.
That's my
like-
Nike Sportsbet, but oh my God. Surely there is one. Okay, I'm going to do a bit of research.
Gotta-
if Sportsbet is listening,
Got to get
at
on to
me.
him and just be like, "You taking gimmick bets for the next decade?"
Yeah, just real quick.
Can I?
I'll chuck 100 on it.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth is 93 years old.
93.
Okay,
Yeah, she's definitely
she's not making it to 103.
probably not. No.
All right, come on, let's be real. Like, I know people listening here, you're probably monarchist. You're like, oh, that's that's a heresy or whatever that word is. Like,
No, not at all.
heresy. Oh, how do you tell you? Like, I'm not wishing ill upon the Queen. I'm just being real.
Logistically.
I'm just being real. Like, if I had to make a correct prediction for the 2020s and I had to win a bit of money on it, I'm sorry, the Queen just ain't making it out of the 2020s.
I mean, look, given like she looks up, she's always looked after herself. Like she's always like taken
she's
care of
a
her
fit
body.
lass.
She's
She
fit,
is.
but also like she has access to like top quality healthcare, right?
She does.
Combined with living a healthy lifestyle on top of that, right? She's not King Henry VIII, right? Who used to take 2-hour shits and had to be carried upstairs, right? She looks after herself. So between the clean living and good access to high quality medical care, she could. I mean, I think the world's oldest person was like 116. So like, I don't think she'll make it to that, but I reckon she could get to 110.
I'm
I
just
reckon.
saying, man. Father Time, he ain't taking an L, man. Like he's undefeated, and
She
look,
takes-
some people have had similar benefits and haven't lived that long. All I'm saying is
She takes one little slip down the stairs and it's all over.
she breathes in the wrong kind
You think
of air. Like
you're assuming she walks downstairs?
That's a good point.
This is the Queen, right?
probably
She
gets
has
carried down the
She has
stairs.
people for that.
Well, she has a slide.
Yeah.
Ju-
No, I think if she was
Buckingham Palace full of
gonna
slides.
if she was gonna like it was gonna be an accidental death, it would be something dog related. It would be like the dogs had walked in something, she contracts some disease from whatever they've walked in, and that gets her.
One of the fucking corgis trips her over.
Yeah, or one of the corgis trips or something like that. Like
Breaks
that's
a hip.
that's more likely, I think, than falling downstairs or anything like that. Yeah.
all I'm simply saying is that there's a high statistical probability.
No,
I'm
you're
just
not-
throwing that
you're
out
not-
there.
You're not wrong.
I'll give you that.
You're not
I'll give
wrong.
you that.
You're not
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, it's a high probability. Yeah, I just don't. I reckon she'll make it to 103. I think I reckon at a minimum she's going to make it to 100. So she's 93. So what's that? 94. So mid 2020s at a minimum she'll be around.
She'll be the first ever
mid-2020.
queen to ever write a letter to herself.
Yeah. She will.
Dear me.
Yeah. G'day.
Well done.
Well done.
G'day, Liz. Well done. Good show. Tally ho, Liz.
Yours truly.
Yours truly,
Liz.
Liz Regina. Right.
See you in another 100 years.
P.S.
Look, if she makes it,
Drinks tonight?
if she makes it to the technological singularity, then have you guys been keeping up with Elon Musk's prediction for the technological singularity?
Yeah.
The whole concept of just before 2030. Now, you're saying she survives a decade. If the predictions are true and just before 2030 we get to a point where we can create computers and AI so sophisticated that we can impart our own brains almost into them, I believe the queen would be at the forefront. Do we get an eternal queen at that point? A queen that lives forever.
Do we need one?
She would argue we do. We've gone this long in society. We don't seem to be arguing it just yet.
I feel like at that point, that's a pretty strong argument for the existence of a god, because the whole gimmick is God save the queen. I mean, at that point, that would quite literally be like God saving the queen, right? It's like, hey, even though
Elon Musk said God, and
even though Elon Musk said
is God.
No. What I'm saying is Elon Musk operates on Elon Musk time, right? Whenever he says 2029, that really means 2059, right?
but other scientists have come out and said the exact same thing. They've gone 2029, 2030. Like, all I'm saying is I like to believe in the technological singularity, and I think a beautiful gimmick is if John is right and the Queen manages to outlast my prediction of the 2020s, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking of all the world leaders that are currently going to be around at the time, who are the top 10 that are first in line for that technological singularity. Like, I think the Queen's up there, and whoever the President of the United States is probably.
Yeah.
An eternal
Wouldn't you feel?
queen.
Wouldn't you?
Thought.
Wouldn't you be absolutely pissed off if you were fucking like Charles at that point? It's like, oh well, fuck. Never going to sit on that fucking throne. This is bullshit.
I feel like at this point though he's pretty much accepted that because at this point there's pretty even
At this
odds.
point, he's going to be on it for about 5 years before he kicks the bucket.
That's
as
what
well.
I'm saying. Like no, but there's even better odds. He might not even. She might outlive him.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like there's good odds on that. So I feel like if you're Charles, you've got to have accepted that you might never sit on that throne.
Poor big-eared bastard.
Yeah.
Any other big sweeping declarations for the 2020s, mate?
And I got 2 there. So I got the Queen. Oh, the Queen's gone, man.
And the
I'm so
single
good.
and
And
the
we're going to hit technological singularity.
All right.
That's such a
that's
cool
a
thing
that's
to
a
fucking-
big fucking call.
It's a big call.
I'll be all about that though.
It might be like its first infantile where it's just like we can kind of connect human activity, brain activity to machines, and it kind of can operate that way.
We can do that right now.
The first
but
like
better sophisticated way.
the first like dying person with like a terminal illness gets transferred into a computer, and they just like the first thing they say is like, no, kill me, it's so bad in here, get me out, it's bad. I don't like it. And it's like, oh no, shit. Well, death is better.
Do you think you'd enjoy the concept of eternal life, like immortality? Almost?
Like there's so many like philosophical things when it comes to that. It's just like you would get bored. You would just like there's a certain point where and people like in their 80s and 90s are getting to that point and just like I've done it.
There's a limited amount of things you can do on Earth.
I'm cool. Like
it's not even that.
But if you have like that, you're unhinged from physical sort of limitations, and you can go into, I guess, the depths of the internet or whatever the fuck you would do with the singularity. Like you could look at a lot of porn really quickly. You could, I don't know. Like I mean, like there is.
But why would you? You don't have you have no penis.
You are limited. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, just for curiosity's sake, you are limited by your physical body, but then, like, even in the singularity, you're also limited by like server size and like the breadth and width of the internet, and like, there's only so much you can do.
True, we'd be paying for servicing then, wouldn't we? Like how a car must be serviced every couple of months.
I mean,
us as humans.
You know what the worst outcome with that, and I think it's a very dystopian one, and it's kind of a bit matrixy, is that like you literally like you get promised like singularity, you get to go into cyber existence or whatever the fuck it is, and you get to explore and think and create forever, and really it's some weird fucking company that's just using your mental sort of capacity for server space for something else, for like powering something else essentially,
as processing, like
as a processing power. So you essentially,
is that not how literally the Matrix is built around? That's the concept of it.
Well, it's more that humans create energy, not necessarily server space.
There was an episode of Doctor Who that played with that concept.
Okay,
There was in like the season 1 of the new season with Christopher Eccleston, there's a woman who was like basically hooked up to a computer as a baby, and they use her as like the CPU for a big like global media networking system. Yeah,
she's Gladys or GLaDOS.
Kind of, yeah. But instead of going insane and killing people, she goes insane and saves the world. It's kind of like is how they did it.
GLaDOS beats Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot's a fucking brilliant
kind of,
show.
yeah.
Just FYI.
But so that concept's been played with. But here's my thing on like kind of immortality, right? I don't think the human mind was designed to last forever.
Yeah.
And here's why. Because like you look at like people who are 100 years old. Think about people who are 100 years old. The worlds that they grew up in is completely alien to the one that they're currently existing in.
Yeah.
Right? Just completely alien. Right? Now you extrapolate that and move it forward, right? And go 200 years, 300 years, 400 years. How alienated do you become from the world that you're living in? Right, even if, and that's saying like that's not even without any physical limitation. Let's say that you look like fucking the way you look right now, Dave, forever, right? So there's no physical limitations to you. You're still fit and healthy, right? But I mean, like, how the fuck do you function 400 years from now when like you don't even know how to open a fucking door anymore or turn on a light?
I feel like if we had to get like really deep into it, there's the brain stops developing at what, 25 for males? I think? Something like that.
30.
If we get them not young enough, but at a peak time, let's say like 17, right, where you're still very much developing and your brain is still very much open to new ideas, and you say that's the point where we call singularity, and we may mix that mind with technology and the usage of that mind, and still because it's developing and ever developing. Let's just say maybe we develop this technological singularity can achieve that, where you can keep this mind ever growing. Because once the mind stops growing, that's when we become kind of complacent. That's when we start sitting back and go, we're not now able to, not that we're not able to, but we're not wanting to, I guess, learn new things because we're very in our way. At least that's how I perceive it. But when we're young, we're still very much open to things because that's our brain developing it. It's still finding its personality. Still finding how it's still figuring out what it is.
Yeah, but like one of the last things you develop is judgment. So like, and so that's why. And that's like very intentional with like our evolution. It's like you get people who are like quote unquote young and dumb, and because they're young and dumb, they're more like able to take risks. So they're the guys who go and decide, you know what? Let's hunt a fucking mammoth. How about that? How about that for a fucking laugh, lads? Let's get some sticks and hunt that giant fucker with horns. Right? Let's do that. Right? And that's ultimately pushing society forward. But then you've got to have people with judgment to be like, all right, listen, how about instead of just sticks, why don't you stick a knife on the end of that stick and then go and hunt the mammoth? Yeah, you know what? That's a better idea, right? You need both in a society, right? And I think if you hit the singularity and then you put like people who don't have judgment, right, into this singularity, you're just ending up with a lot of like stupid young people.
That's true.
Who are now immortal, right? And it's sort of like,
that sounds terrible.
That's a terrible, terrible thing to do. That is a terrible idea.
Just dabbing for millions of years.
The other half of that technological singularity theory is the fact that it's the ability to also unlock the complete power of the brain. And they use the example of like Einstein being, I guess, like the smartest ever person.
That's bullshit though, right?
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like if that's the theory, it's like the ability to like, once the computer intelligence becomes so advanced that they're able to outthink humans, and we then pair our minds with that, then we become just far super smarter humans.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. Saying.
I mean,
like stupidity isn't an issue when we become the singularity.
But in order for that to happen, you still need to pair it with a fully developed brain.
Yeah,
right. That's like you can't. Yeah. But like there are predictions that's the way. The reason, like one of the like, there's a lot of the reasons like why haven't we encountered aliens yet? It's like one of those questions, right?
Oh, we can go deep onto that.
We can go deep, but I'm not going to go deep into it. But basically, there's a range of different theories that have been posturized for that. One of those being that we as a quote unquote meat-based species are too unevolved to comprehend the intelligence that's out there, right? Because there is someone that says like basically like spacefaring intelligences are part post-singularity intelligences.
Yeah.
So once they've managed to leave
They're
their
metal.
meat, they're metal. Once they've managed to leave their meat bodies behind, of course, 100-year journey becomes no drama because you don't have to worry about aging or death. You can spend 100 years floating through space and there's no drama, right? And that's when you become a spacefaring civilization, in that truest sense of the word, where you can become interstellar, right? And so, yeah, that's absolutely a possibility. I don't think that's going to happen by 2029, though.
I don't think so, because they're experimenting with nanobot technology. That's where the first kind of rendition.
Oh, that's
comes in.
fun.
Yeah, but it's the idea that nanobots can have the ability. Like there is. I can't remember. I was watching a TED talk a couple of weeks ago, and they were touching on it. The ability for these nanobots to repair a specific thing, if they can get inside your cell, the ability to repair your cell so that you can stay as young and look as youthful as possible.
Yeah, to repair it's telomeres.
Yeah, that is what. Yeah,
It repairs telomeres.
I've watched too many movies with fucking nanobots in it to be like, that's a good idea. Nanobots are programmable and they're going to do something where they make you either a fucking zombie or like a killing machine where you have no control over your own body.
these are the risks.
Oh.
These are the risks.
These are the risks.
There's a big ethics community that needs to happen when it comes to this kind of
Are
shit.
you willing to take those risks?
For science? For interstellar travel? I would openly voluntarily put myself on.
Nanobots?
Yes.
Nanobots. You'd
I've
be okay with the
been on
nanobots.
record for the longest time. There was a gimmick conversation, 2-something years ago, where it was just like something like SpaceX or NASA is like asked people, might have been a gimmick, but like asked people, are you willing to be the first people on Mars? But you must know that you're never going to be able to come back to Earth.
Yeah.
Like that you will die on Mars. Like
Yeah.
that is your essential one-way ticket. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I'm like, no, without even thinking about it. I was like,
I would be the first person to die on Mars.
You remember there was that?
I'd just get there and kill myself.
No, you remember that there was that whole thing where there was a company that was going to send a group of colonists to Mars.
That's what I'm thinking.
And they were going to die there, and the way they were going to fund it is make the whole thing a reality show. They just recently went bankrupt, by the way. It's not going to happen.
Good.
But they were like they had thousands of applicants for it.
Yeah.
You know, so at a minimum, like, okay, let's even equate for people who submit it and then think about it and go, you know what? No, right? That's still a 1,000 people who have been like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. So yeah. It's
Hey,
totally
look, the
possible.
world's fucking burning around us. Who wouldn't want to leave? To be honest. But like that, actually, bold prediction, 2020.
Just 2020 or 2020?
Oh, sorry, 2020s. Sorry, next decade. Humans at least orbit Mars.
Ooh.
Not land, but we do like a trip just to be like, can we get there and back with people surviving?
Yeah.
So like
So
we do
pure just orbit it and then return trip.
and like I think it was like the first couple of like moon missions were just like orbit the moon, come back.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
they landed.
Yeah.
I reckon we get to the point where we get a manned orbit of Mars. So they get out there, orbit Mars, come back. I reckon 2020, and with like guys like Musk and Bezos and everyone,
SpaceX is going to be handling that.
SpaceX and whatever Bezos' version of that is, and
Blue Origin.
Blue Origin, thank you, and everyone else. It's like all these private companies, Virgin Galactic, all that. Someone is going to be like, can we just get there, do a lap, and come home? That is like, it seems like the bare minimum at this point is like, just can we work that out?
Well, do you remember when Elon Musk did that gimmick where he shot his car into space?
Yes.
Like, okay, so like,
Where is that right now? Like, how far out is it?
I don't know.
Is there like a website that tracks that?
Yeah, I think SpaceX keep track of it. Well,
Okay.
I know NASA definitely does.
Yeah.
That's just curious at that
But
point.
like, no, because okay, so the reason why
Just waiting for it to do a lap of the sun, come back and hit us.
So the reason why it was a car is because that was the gimmick. But the reason why they were doing it at all, they were going to usually they just use a big lump of concrete. But
Right.
because it's just about shooting mass. Because the experiment is, can we get that mass to Mars?
Right.
That was the original experiment. And so at that point, it doesn't matter what the mass is. And they went, well, let's fucking make a stunt out of it and put a car there, right? But they were trying to shoot it. And what they wanted to do is they wanted to shoot it at Mars and put it in orbit around Mars. Right? Basically permanently. And see if their rocket could handle it. Now they missed.
Okay.
Even though it hasn't actually reached as far. I know it hasn't reached
It's
Mars
trajected
yet.
to miss.
But we know it's going to miss, and it's going to. But that's okay too, because then the experiment is, can it make it to the asteroid belt? And
Okay.
so it still works out fine. It still met all of its other experimental parameters. So that's already like the first. Like, can we just get there? Yes, no.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like that's SpaceX has already made their first big step with that because that was with the Falcon Heavy launch.
Yeah, and the good thing with a shuttle is you can like adjust trajectory. Whereas this is good. Like in space, you shoot something in a direction, it goes in that direction forever.
Yeah. So
Lost Newton's law.
Yeah. So that's yeah. So the next, I don't know when the next transfer window is, but it comes around roughly once every 2 years.
Right.
So that means you've got at least 4 shots at doing it before the end of the decade. At least 3 before the end of the decade.
I think there'll be talk about it. Just doing a trip, not landing, just doing a lap.
Yeah.
Just go around, do an orbit of Mars, come back.
Yeah. And so my prediction actually for that is we start to see asteroid mining. So because asteroid mining is even simpler again because you don't even need humans involved. You just send a robot out to go out there, grab an asteroid, and bring it back. And doing that is really you can do that with really tiny satellites. Like manipulating asteroids isn't that difficult. And then you bring them back, you put them in orbit of Earth, and then it's just a way short trip.
We could
humans to go up
probably
there and bring them back.
You could technically probably even do that now because the technology that SpaceX has developed is the ability of the return home shuttle.
Well, this is what Blue Origin's been working on. They're they're specifically working towards space. SpaceX wants to go to Mars.
Yeah.
Blue Origin wants to mine the belt.
Oh, okay.
And so like that's what they've been working on for a really long. That's why you notice they did a big reveal a little while ago for their lunar lander, and it was specifically designed with mining in mind because they want to mine helium-3 to use as fuel to shoot themselves into the asteroid belt. They want to use the moon as a base. So yeah, like that's what they're gearing towards. With SpaceX is like fuck all that noise. We're gonna go straight to Mars.
The mission statement of SpaceX is that, but they have developed this technology that so it's also a recyclable shuttle, which I think is so sick, and the fact that once it's already in orbit, purely just on like signals, it can see when the landing pad is on Earth on that trajectory, and then just land itself.
Yeah.
Like that is so fucking cool. That like I don't know if Blue Origin's also using that kind of technology, but you would need that technology.
I think they're developing it. I don't know where they're at with it.
You need that technology.
Yeah,
for that.
absolutely.
And that already exists.
Yeah.
Like being tested already.
Yeah.
So like it can be done, which is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
fucking cool. Oh, I love space. Shit.
I have an issue with mining the moon.
The moon?
And the asteroids. That seems like some dystopian bullshit right there.
Well, I don't
It
have
seems like once if you're the first company to do it, then you've controlled the world.
Exactly.
In
And
a sense,
I think
like-
this brings me to like my next big bold prediction is the monopolization of massive companies is going to get worse. I think in the next 5 years, Disney's going to buy Netflix.
Do you reckon Apple buys Microsoft?
No.
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 Do you reckon that
Apple-
the tech
no, I
industry
reckon-
just doesn't exist?
No,
in the
no, no.
monopoly?
I reckon-
They can't because of antitrust laws. Like,
Yeah, but there-
Microsoft needs Apple and Apple needs Microsoft.
There seems like there's some loopholes that get exploited.
Oh yeah, they
sometimes.
do.
Like
Yeah.
When fucking was it Verizon, AT&T merged or something, or merged like conglomerates of their companies, and it's now like they control outside of T-Mobile, they control like 90% of America's telecommunications. It's like that's fucked.
Yeah.
That's not good. But I reckon Disney's going to buy Netflix, 100%, 100%.
Dude, Disney's on a warpath.
They are.
Like,
They are buying up
they bought
fucking
Fox.
everything.
They
I
could
think
buy Sony if they wanted to.
Disney. I think Disney are going to probably purchase back the Spider-Man rights, and in doing so, probably just like as a package deal, buy up Sony, or at least they're like their
media
Their
division.
film arm.
their media, their film arm. Yeah, I see that happening 100%. Just because like at this point they just like throw money at it and it'll work, and it's working. Yeah, I think that's going to get worse. I think we're going to see a lot more telecommunication. I know there is antitrust stuff, but they're finding ways to circumvent that a lot of the time. So we're going to have, I think it's going to be a case of like they're going to do it and then like they're going to get hit with an antitrust suit and then they'll go into like a fucking, court battle or whatever. But in the meantime, they're still fucking doing it over here.
Still pulling bank.
They're still pulling bank. So I think it's going to get probably worse. And we're probably not going to get. We've gone past the point of like getting another Google or another Apple or another Microsoft. Like we're not going to get any more big companies.
Yeah.
It's done. Like,
I think the tech sphere is now
Tesla's
where
like the
it is.
last big major tech company to come out.
So I
And
disagree.
that's it.
I disagree because like
Unless we get the
People
asteroid mining company.
I was going to say people thought that with MySpace, right? So much so Rupert Murdoch bought MySpace. He was like, "Yep, this is like the thing," and then
Yeah.
Facebook came along and fucked the whole thing up.
Yeah, no, but what's come along since MySpace? Since Facebook. Facebook's been over a decade now.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
nothing has touched it.
Yeah,
MySpace was
nothing.
around for
Yeah.
3 years
I'm not like
before Facebook
There's
came
a
along.
difference between early adopters and then where we are now.
You're right.
Yeah.
There was that period of like rapid disruption, but like
There was Bebo.
But like
Love
things.
Bebo.
Oh, dude! Actually, I want to shout out another podcast, Tales of Silicon Valley, by with oh god, I can't remember the guy's name now. Fuck, Tales of Silicon Valley. First, there's an episode about Bebo. It's fucking fantastic. You should listen to it. But yeah, like I think for that we had that period of rapid disruption, but I think now it's more of a slow burn. I think we're going to see less disruptions, but they're still going to happen. So I wouldn't count out seeing a rise of another big company.
But also how you
soon.
define tech too. Like you just mentioned, like Apple, Microsoft. Obviously, they're tech now in terms of like so many branching arms, but they didn't start that way. They started as computer companies, really.
Yeah.
And then they branched because of their revenue, able to branch and dominate other spheres of technology. Technology is like you can almost name it, and it's technology.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Technically, is like what.
So I said something like
innovate.
Something like Tesla still comes under an umbrella.
Yeah.
Because they create and innovate new.
Like the next
technology.
innovation of tech would be space, and I think
It would be.
that's where we now.
It's
going to
be
already
either-
happened actually. And
Well, yeah. I mean, it's already happening.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to see, like that's what I said. We're not going to see anything like massively new from from a company coming up. We're just going to see more iterations from the companies we already have.
Yep.
Like Tesla, or SpaceX, Blue
Origin.
Blue Origin. Yeah. They're just going to get like better and like do more things within their own bubble. Or if someone does pop up, Bezos will buy it up, or Tesla will buy it up, and then pull it into their own.
True, that's where it is now. The
Pull it into
wealth disparity.
Yeah, exactly,
is the
because
problem.
they have not necessarily the ideas, but the resources to make those ideas happen. So if they see like some company for some reason creates a fucking asteroid mining robot, Bezos is going to be like, "Cool, I have the resources to make that a reality. I'm going to buy your company. Here's $1 billion."
That's that's already happening. Like that's like Blue Origin, I think, recently acquired a company who were like they weren't building a rocket. They weren't like all they were doing was we're going to build the robot that mines the asteroid and like we'll put that on somebody else's rocket or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a valid business proposition. Like to do that, like you know, to do the all-in-one thing is a pretty crazy thing, right? You know, like the people who make the trucks don't also make the back of the truck. You know, the trailer, right? You know, they're two different companies. So yeah, but from that, my predictions for the decade is next decade will be the decade we see the first trillionaire, right? So not the first $1 trillion company. We already got that. That's Apple.
It's Apple.
But that's not held within one person's worth $1 trillion.
I feel like you say that.
It's going to be Bezos.
Here's the thing. Here's why, right? And again, it comes down to asteroid mining, right? The
actually
asteroid
think it'll
belt.
be Elon.
The asteroid belt has multiple planets worth of precious metals, right? And you bring those back here, and if you play it out right and you maintain scarcity, right? That's trillions of dollars out there, right? Just floating.
I think the minute you bring back one asteroid that has like that much precious metal, the idea of fucking like scarcity goes out the window because people just like, there's all those asteroids on the belt.
Yeah, but well, no, but
Like,
look
you
at
can't-
There's really only at that point only one person can do it.
Do it. That's what I'm saying. And
Until
look at-
someone else
I
can
know,
do
but
it.
like, you can't.
even then, look at the diamond cartels, right? Like diamonds are a lot less scarce than we think they are,
Yeah.
but they maintain artificial scarcity. You can do that with the asteroid belt, right? And I think we're going to see the first trillionaire as a result.
So you're saying it's going to be Bezos then? You reckon
It
Bezos?
might-
Trillionaire, fuck
well,
yeah.
Bezos is the only one who's like
close.
actively
Well,
working
kinda
towards
close.
it.
Yeah.
But it's
I reckon
it's a race between him and Musk at the moment.
That was what I was coming
Right.
on.
You know,
Like,
Musk,
I feel like
Musk isn't 100 billionaire yet.
No, he is.
No, but
And
he
fucking
is-
Bezos is.
But Bezos, aside from Amazon-
but you don't have to start with 100 billion. You could go from $1 billion to $1 trillion with a few good asteroids. That's what I'm saying.
this is why I say Elon, because I think where Elon sits at the moment, he has got like 7 different things all in their infancy, aside from Tesla. Tesla is more or less a developed company. Now it's just bringing out new innovations.
Yeah, yeah.
SpaceX, the boring company, as well as his all solar panel operations, they're all in their infancy.
Yep, and
They are.
Hyperloop.
Once they get past that point, the money will roll in. Bezos pretty much just has Amazon, maybe some other smaller companies, and Blue Origin. Blue Origin's going to be a timely thing, as well as SpaceX.
He also owns the Washington Post.
Oh, does he too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, newspaper's dead. All right, fuck off, Ricki. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just
He's
saying.
not making 100 billion off
not-
fucking newspapers.
It's not the fact that he owns a newspaper, and also,
he owns
the Washington Post
information.
has a website.
Well,
Well,
also there's not synergy though there.
yeah, I know,
There's
but
no
like,
market
guess
domination.
no, Washington Post has market
It
domination.
absolutely does.
Oh, does it
yeah,
really?
yeah,
Yeah, it's probably the most widely circulated newspaper in America.
Oh, fuck me. I thought New York Times.
And also, guess who they don't publish bad articles about? Amazon.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that there isn't any synergy there. So like Musk's companies, like the Boring Company, Tesla, SpaceX, they all have synergy between them. Like stuff that SpaceX does in materials research gets applied to the cars at Tesla.
Yeah.
Stuff Tesla's doing in terms of autonomous driving can be moved over into rovers for SpaceX, as well as the Boring Company. But stuff the Boring Company does in terms of developing the Hyperloop, because I think the Hyperloop technically comes under Boring Company, but it might also be
It's
its
the
own separate
underground
company.
ability to...
Yeah, so that all that infrastructure then feeds back into Tesla as well, right? So all the companies tend to kind of work together in that they can share these resources and use them all and feed each other. Where like the Washington Post is basically a PR company, right? It's not,
I'm not talking about
providing anything else to Amazon or to Blue
Well,
Origin.
that's the thing with Amazon. You can say all that like it's its own, like, you know, they all complement each other. Amazon sells everything to everybody. That's the thing.
Yeah. Also,
Then that's the thing. It's basically become its own like perpetual growth machine.
Yeah.
As Amazon gets bigger, it has the capacity to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like it's exponential. It's getting exponentially bigger every year, and it's getting to it like there's no like tipping point at this point because there are just more people in the world, and there are more of these Amazon like the mega expedite and factories. They just put one in New York. Took them a fucking while because the New York Post, the New York Times, unlike the Washington Post, will post negative articles and we're like, you need to come here and pay people in our state a living wage instead of like the fucking shit wage you pay everyone else wherever the other big, I think Seattle is the other one.
Yeah, they got one. They build one in Dandenong.
But yeah, but the fact is they sell everything to everybody. And now they've got their own media arm. They're making their own shows. They've got the Prime service. They've got all this other shit that's like you don't know that actually belongs to Amazon, but it does. Audible, another one.
Yeah, it's true.
Twitch.
Belongs to Amazon as well.
Yeah.
So they're getting into like their own game manufacturing as well, their own movies, their own TV shows, everything. So it's like it's not just Amazon and the Washington Post and all the other bullshit he owns. It's the fact that it's the biggest store that sells everything to everybody.
That's, Ricki. Yeah,
and
Ricki's
it's such a like the Boring Company and like Tesla and that. There's still niche things. Like we said in the Tesla episode, not everyone can afford a fucking Tesla, especially here in Australia. But the minute fucking Amazon got its only Australian domain and factories in Australia, it went up.
You're making the case that Bezos he's more primed to be the trillionaire because he wants to be the trillionaire, rather than Elon Musk,
and
who could be a trillionaire, but he doesn't want to be a trillionaire.
He already has the means. Bezos has everything he needs. Yeah. Whereas Elon is still working on getting all this shit.
Getting all these ducks in a row,
finalized and actually working.
Elon's that $6 bet you'd look at and you'd go, all right, I got heads here. Here's a $6, but he's a good $6.
He's a good smoker. But Bezos is like a good $1.30, and you're just like, that's the safe money.
He's a good 6 months because you're looking at the start of the season where it's like, I don't know if he's in his MVP form yet, but then he could just break it out. That's what I'm saying. He's the bet. He's the one that you could make money on. Bezos is the easy option. Elon's the one that you look at and you go, he's $6 now because he hasn't hit his prime yet. But you can never really predict someone's prime. It could be next year, could be 5 years from now. It might actually be 20 years from now. He might never hit it, but he could hit it next year. The Boring Company might get fucking lit. Everything might go according to plan, and then money would just slap him across the face. Yeah. Then you win that $6 bet. All right, that's my analogy for the.
He's also the kind of guy that seems like he would, but if he got to that point, he would just put that money back into his company, whereas Bezos is like hoarding it for whatever fucking reason.
That's what Musk's been doing. Like he's been like money he's been making from Tesla, he's been pouring into SpaceX. Or it used to be like that. Now money that he's making out of SpaceX is he's pouring back into Tesla. Yeah. Right. Is what he's basically doing. Yeah. No, that's that. You're absolutely right. Like he's been kind of like reinvesting his money, but that's not to say that it's not like it's being wasted. Like, SpaceX is now almost a viable business. Like it's like we always think about it in terms of like the R&D, but it's a delivery company. They deliver satellites to space. That's what they do. That's their bread and butter. So so they can totally do that. But my other prediction, and it is a Musk-based one as well, full self-driving cars.
Oh yeah, that was
next decade.
Surely.
Yeah.
But
we're talking like those ones like where the steering wheel just goes away and you're just like, all right, we're trusting this now.
That's what I mean. By the end of the decade, like there won't be a steering wheel in the car.
All right.
By the end of the decade.
And the Cybertruck will be the most popular car in all of Australia. Sorry, the Cyber Ute.
Cyber Ute.
Yes, will be the most popular car in all of Australia. So any other big ones, big sweepers?
I think that's it. I think we've covered it. I think those are kind of the big sweeping ones, I think.
I hope the next 4 Avatar sequels will flop.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
don't.
I watched Avatar the other night because it was on Disney Plus. It was like 3rd or 4th on trending.
Yeah, no,
I'm just like, fuck. I'll just watch it again to see if I still hate it. I still hate it. It's still a trash movie.
It's a movie that'll do well despite itself, man.
I know.
Like,
That's the thing. That's the thing I hate about it too. I'm just watching, just like people are going to go see a sequel to this, and I hate that fact. But I hope they fucking flop because like people have Marvel now. Marvel wasn't a thing when this came out.
That's true. It's a completely different generation.
And Star Wars is
But
back. And Star Wars is back, baby.
Star Wars is back. Star Wars
Is
has
it-
both
wait.
come and gone since the last Avatar film.
Exactly.
Right? So Star Wars is gone now after
like
the last
no
film.
one has a need to watch the dumb blue cats fucking space. Like
Yeah,
no
it's
one
new
cares.
Star Wars.
No.
You know what? Actually, Avatar's smart. They knew Star Wars was coming back, so they didn't make anything for a
fuck
decade.
off.
Star Wars had 3 films, 2 of them, one of them pretty good, the other one okay, the other one I haven't seen yet. Now that they're gone, Avatar's like, fuck yeah, we're back, 2021. 3 more films, our new trilogy.
Oh, God damn it. Also, now owned by Disney. So Disney's going to make
So it'll be brilliant.
billions more dollars. God damn it. See, I just want... No, okay. Another one, just in like the movie realm, something big will like flop. Like there'll be one big, like I think like maybe the next sort of like run of Marvel.
I was just about to say.
into like the next Avengers movie. Unless they really establish all these new characters as like the new team, it could be like, it'll probably still make $1 billion, but like it's not going to be Endgame or Infinity War kind of money.
Do you reckon
And to that will seem like a flop to them.
in the next decade, Endgame's record gets broken?
Is
Is that a record that's going to stand the time? Because
Yeah.
Avatar only held
Yeah.
it for 10 years. It seems to be a bit of a trend. Before that was Titanic, 90s.
Yeah, I think just
10
the
years.
fact that there are just more people in general kind of doesn't help
Yeah.
these records
Yeah.
standing up for a while. So like,
Also, are these records based on the
World
American
gross.
domestic market? That's what I was going to say because China's become a thing.
and also China.
Right.
Yeah.
The China. Do you know? Okay. Do you know how many movie theaters are opening every day in China?
44.
Close. 30.
Oh.
30
Fucking hell.
a day.
I say 44 because you're not allowed to have 4s. Just fun fact. in the
Oh,
Chinese
okay.
culture. Yeah.
So, but they're opening 30 a day in China. Like that's
Right.
and you think about that. That's a lot of movie theaters, right, in one particular market, right, with
Yeah.
a billion people. What I'm saying is that like when Avatar became like when Titanic was a thing, the Chinese film market wasn't that developed.
No.
Avatar, the Chinese market was developing. Now it's established.
Yeah.
And it's like the Chinese film market can make or break a film in terms of getting those records.
it can, yeah.
I think what we'll see is if Avatar does well in China, then it'll do well. It'll break the record. It'll break Endgame.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think that record will stand for 10 years. I think it'll be
it just
broken.
seems to be a trend every 10 years. But like as we've just said, technology develops in a decade, more people in a decade.
Yeah.
I reckon 2020 kind of easy prediction / silly prediction is the fact that I think Endgame's record won't last the end of 2020s.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think. Yeah, I think it'll get broken.
In fact, it
By
probably
what, though, I
will
don't
get
know.
beaten by Avatar 2.
It might. It might.
As shitty as it might sound, people are
Nah.
going to see it pure.
Nah.
Half the people will see it because it's like, well,
Nah.
I kind of want to see how bad it's going to be. And then half the people are fans of Avatar are going to be like, kind of keen to see how good it's going to be. And if I'm James Cameron / their marketing team, I'm hitting the beats of Avatar 1 grossed $3 billion, being toppled. Let's do it again. Like,
I think the reason that
because you know that it was 100% the second half of Endgame's fucking marketing push when it was in the cinemas after it hit like $1.5 billion.
I know.
Literally, their marketing push
was like,
let's pass Avatar.
let's beat Avatar.
And they made it an actual mainstream thing. If I'm
thing
Avatar
is-
2, I'm like, fuck, let's pass Endgame.
thing is, to make that much money, you have to have repeat viewings. You have to have people going back
Yeah,
to the
that's
movie
true.
twice. People went and saw Avatar because they would drag their friends and just be like, look at the spectacle. But we've seen it. We've seen it already. Whereas with Endgame, it was like people want to go there and feel that like the catharsis and just like absorb that.
Sure,
like,
it took about
that's
4
the reason.
films of Avengers to do what
That's
Endgame
the
did.
reason I
Avatar
went and
did it
saw.
just like that.
That's why I went and saw it like 4 times in the cinema because I just want to go and experience how that movie made me feel. Made me feel happy and sad. And
When's
all
the final
stuff.
Avatar slated? Maybe that's the one.
2025 or something like that.
Maybe that's the one. Maybe you build 3 more
Yeah.
like Avengers did, and
Because
then that catharsis
The-
feeling
like
is...
people weren't going back to Avatar for repeat viewings being like, I love this story. They were just like, it looks pretty.
I love this
You
story.
can't. It's Pocahontas. Fuck off. You can't do that with Avatar 2. People will go see it once. Fuck yeah, no doubt about that. But there's no reason for them to go and see it twice unless it does something even more groundbreaking than 3D that actually looked good, which was like
maybe it's on-site location filming.
Plus,
Maybe.
you've also got to consider streaming, right? Like,
Yes.
we know, you know, like Disney Plus is a thing, and even though it was a bit wobbly, it was a bit wobbly at the start. It's like
it's pretty steady now.
even then, it was pretty fucking good, right out of the gate. Like, I'd say its UI is better than Amazon Prime. Right, because they just went, we're just going to copy Netflix, and that works.
Basically,
right?
yeah.
And that works. And so that means it's got a pretty well, and on top of that, it's going to have a really established base of subscribers. And a lot of people who see have Avatar, I don't think Avatar is going to have that same pull of like, I need to go and see this at the movie theaters, period. I think a lot of people will be like, that's cool, I want to see it. I'm happy to wait for it to come to Disney Plus. And what that means though is that in terms of that raw, like global, like gross metric, you're going to lose a big chunk to people who will just wait for it to come out on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Which means you're still going to get that money, but it doesn't, in terms of like when you do the post.
You're going to hit that like first billion pretty quickly,
Yeah.
but then it's going to drop off after
That's
that.
it. Yeah. And so you're not going to break the record.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think Avengers will stand the test of time for a bit, but I think something else is going to come along. Whether it's maybe the next Avengers, depending how they're built to that. Whether it's another Star Wars movie, perhaps this one. I don't think so. I don't think the based on at least like the amount of time it's been out in the box office that I've seen, it's not going to track to that like level again. So, and it could be something else completely fucking different.
Yep.
Coming out of it left field to take over. So, but I don't think it'll be toppled by Avatar. But I think it could be toppled just in general.
True.
Any other big ones before we wrap up?
No, can't think of any.
That's it.
No, I think that's it. Yeah, I think with that we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
For the end of the year.
Yes.
Oh geez. Oh cool. Yeah, that's a 90-minute episode again. Sweet.
That's fine.
So I want to thank my guests for joining me this week again. David Yang, Ricki Neens, boys. Well, thank you.
Woo!
No problem. Yeah.
Take a bit of a fucking break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so because I know people are listening to this on New Year's Eve. So now that you've listened to us, now you can go party, right? But please, be responsible. If you're going to go out and go drinking, like have a plan for how you're going to get home that doesn't involve you driving. Drink lots of water as well, because even if it's hot or not, drink lots of water.
Happened again. My bad. What a great way to end
What
the
are you
cast.
opening? What are you opening that keeps doing that?
Instagram. I fucked
Stop
up.
opening fucking Instagram then. Oh my God.
But if you are going to open Instagram, you should open our Instagram at pint.party for sure. It's
That gets a golf clap.
That gets a pub pool club.
a pub.
Yeah. Just like clap. Yes, well done. Well done.
And with that, this has been Pint Party. Cheers.
Happy
Cheers.
New Year.
Happy New Year. Cheers. Woo. Get drunk.
This is a Hartefact Network podcast. Find us at hartefactstudios.com.au.